What's up, Infected, and welcome to the Quarantine. This is Kickstart Your Week, and if you don't know what that is, this is a quick rundown of some new Kickstarters that I kind of briefly take a look at throughout the week, and ones that I thought look really cool. Now, I don't cover more than 10 because there's only so many hours in the day, and there's so many projects. I can only really cover so many, and I have to cut it off somewhere. So I really have just been cutting it off at 10 that I feel look really cool. Now, before we get started, I do have a message from my sponsor.
The Manhattan Project, Energy Empire, #1 engine builder of all time. Harness the Earth's resources. An instant classic for worker placement games. Develop your economy. Manage your environmental impact. The #3 game of 2016. On sale now at retailers everywhere.
Alright, now we'll just dive into it, and keep in mind these are in no particular order. So first up is Pulsar Event, the battle card game. Now this one looks like it's a living card game, a space adventure, and the art looks really neat, and I'm very curious about how they go with that. Of course, it's not going to be an official living card game because Fantasy Flight holds the copyright on that, but it kind of looks like it's going to be a very similar, whether it's whatever they want to brand it as, but it seems like the premise is essentially a living card game. Next up is Human Interface, Be a Better Human. Now, this apparently is a standalone expansion for a game I've actually never heard of called Human Interface Nakarama Tower. It's co-op miniatures game with a very cyberpunk kind of Deus Ex meets Ghost in the Shell kind of theme to it. Looks really cool. The minis look beautiful. And it looks, just kind of what I looked at, looks very reminiscent of Level 7 Omega Protocol, which I pointed at, but I realize is actually off screen. Next up is Lucidity, Six-Sided Nightmare. Now, if you haven't seen my review for this, I did review it, and I definitely highly recommend it. Spoilers. It is a fantastic little dice chucker with a lot of meaningful decision making that kind of mitigates some of the luck, and it is a very push your luck game. It's loads of fun. It comes in a very small box, very small footprint. Definitely check that one out. It is fantastic. Next up on the list is Epic AF, or Epic as Fuck, or Awful Fiction, I think is what they say. The intro video is really funny. It's got a little bit of humor to it, and it's apparently a Warhammer Quest adventure card game system. So it makes it a co-op adventure with like I said, lots of humor and pretty nice art. I've never actually played Warhammer Quest, so I don't really know what that system is, but it's been rated fairly highly, and overall the game looks like it might be a lot of fun. Next up is Epoch The Awakening. Now this one, first and foremost, has outstanding art, but it looks like it's a resource management area control strategy game. It looks like it might have a couple really cool systems that kind of work together, but I wasn't able to get a whole lot without, of course, investigating a lot of time into learning exactly what the game is. But overall, the little bit that I did see, then I kind of looked over along with the video, looks like it might be really, really fun. With some really unique systems that all kind of work well together. Next up is Reflorestation. Now, Reflorestation is a game about being a florist where you fill orders and you're trying to be the best florist in the area. And it looks like it could be incredibly cutthroat, similar to something like Food Chain Magnate, which I have over here, which is a very, very aggressive game about basically trying to pull a monopoly. And this looks like it might be right up that alley. However, with looking over some of the stuff in the game, I didn't see anything that talked about a bunch of player interaction, except for maybe buying cut flowers that somebody is going to need. So it remains to be seen, but it looks like it may have the potential to be really, really cool. Then we have Galactic Warlords, Battle for Dominion. Now, this one's a card-driven space sci-fi area control war game. Not really quite a 4X, so there's not like the diplomacy or the trading, or from what I can gather. It's more of an area control war game. That's what it is. You all are all different warlords, and you're just fighting over the galaxy. It's got some pretty nice minis on it. The art is interesting. It's not great, but it's not bad. It has some really cool systems in place where like the cards that you play complete symbols, which then kind of designate what you're allowed to do on your next turn, and I thought that was a pretty cool little system. I'll be very interested to see this one. Next up is Chaos Pact Fantasy Football Team. Now, I didn't know if I wanted to put this one on the list because it looks like a blatant Blood Bowl ripoff. And even the chaos symbol is the same. So I don't know if that's deliberate or what, but it is a blatant Fantasy Flight ripoff. But the minis do look really nice. If you want to play Blood Bowl but you don't like Games Workshop, then I guess here's a game for you. Then last on my list is Conan Rise of Monsters. Now, first and foremost, it's fucking Conan, so you can't go wrong. But it looks like it's a skirmish miniature game, something on the lines of like Malifaux or Infinity, except the minis, I guess, are fully painted from what I can tell, which is awesome for somebody in my boat that's behind by a bajillion miniatures. And it's got these special dice that you would roll, and that determines kind of the outcome. And again, freaking Conan. You can't go wrong with Conan. And that is my 10 games for Kickstart the Week for this week. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like any of these games, I will have a link down in the description for all of them. If you like my channel, I have my Patreon up here in the corner. Any little bit helps. I also have it down in the description. I also have a tip jar down there as well. So if you'd rather just support the show with a one-time donation, any dollar helps. So for those of you who've donated, I definitely appreciate it. Anyways, if you like my channel, give me a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.